I think that's the thing that made us relax on the day in the studio. Because I think Rose in particular, because she hadn't done the stuff in the house, she's there on the day, and she has the unenviable task of giving them scores,
Yeah.
right? And that's easy enough when it's something objective, if it's, how many eggs did you balance on your head or whatever, and it's just a numbers thing. But if it's like the task when they have to bring something in, when it's all subjective, that's quite hard. But it was, I think, by the time we got to the day itself, we all felt more relaxed about that because we knew that each of them would have their moment when they had shone. That in these different tasks they'd filmed in advance, they would all have something that they'd done either really, really well or had been very inventive with, successfully or not, or had just been funny, so they would have
Totally.
their moment in the sun. Uh, yeah, so I think, yeah, so so there weren't, so there weren't sort of, because of that, I wouldn't say there was sort of one or t'other that you'd think particularly, because they all had their moments. There were perhaps one or two who had qualities that reminded me a bit of people I knew a bit, or particularly made me laugh in some way, like sort of Persia and Anita, those. Um,
I think Maisie gave you a bit of a hard time as well, didn't she?
Maisie was delightful. She
Yeah.
was very, very funny.
She one of the youngest. I think she was one of the.
She
certainly
was one of the youngest.
looked
It
one of the
definitely
youngest,
is the youngest. It definitely at a bit of a disadvantage, I would say, because you've got kids at that age. There is such a big change in what you can do.
Yeah.
Month by month, year by year. And confidence and strengths and I mean myriad of things. But yeah, she had a very unusually dry wit for someone her age, and she was a lot of fun. We were very sad to see Maisie go. Yeah, for sure.
So you are now you obviously you're in the Alex Horne role of junior Taskmaster. But when I spoke to Alex back in November, I asked him about the kind of shelf life of Taskmaster, and he said it's not so much the concept that's got a shelf life. He thinks him and Greg, him and Greg have got a bit of a shelf life, and your name came up when talking about potentially taking over from one or the other in the main show. Do you think that you could fill those boots?
Oh, I mean that's not the question. It's not could I. It's would I. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that as well, yeah.
So there's could and should, and I mean those are threads I don't particularly want to pull on too much. I'm physically seeing Alex at a charity football do he's
That's coming up,
organised
yeah.
this weekend. So I mean it would. I don't know. This is the first time I've heard that idea. It would be tempting to push him under some high speed football boots and step in and secure my future, Game of Thrones style. But
Yeah.
I think I'd be doing the nation a disservice. And I think, frankly, I think the Taskmaster world, I think they'd find it very, very hard and very strange to take subs. I mean, yeah, I certainly don't think I'd be there. I think you'd have to find something fresh.
Mhm.
I think, yeah. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see anyone doing either of those roles, frankly. And with my Rose and myself, I mean, it's a different show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, if someone had said, "Would you two consider coming and replacing these two in the main show?" That would have been a very difficult decision, and that would have
Yeah.
been, because it's one thing doing a job because it's going to be fun and you'd enjoy it, but it's another when it's so preciously held and loved by its audience. I think there's a lot of people that would rather see good things
Mhm.
die well than be slowly tortured over many years.